Okay. Are you sure about this?
Are you sure this is a good idea?
I was thinking it'd be a good idea before you started walking up to the microphone.
No, I think it's best if we just... Yeah, I think it's best. Are you sure to leave a live dog in the room? So, we're not all back in town, but we're all back in the United States. Simon, where have you been?
I went to Italy for 2 weeks with my family.
Ah, sounds like a rockin' and rickrollin' time.
It's a place for sure. Where did you go, Grant?
I spent a week in Oregon, and then as soon as I came back, we had to get our house repiped. So our house has been a construction zone for the past week.
Oof. And Sam has just been here.
I just sat in town doing work. Sam does have a job.
It's more than we can say.
Once more that I have a job. Alright, so Simon, do you want to start telling stories first? Or do you want me to start telling stories first? How do you want this to go?
You can tell your stories first.
Alright, so 2 weeks ago, we spent a week driving from Bakersfield up to Oregon and then back down. So the first day we went to go see my grandfather, which is always nice because he lives so far away and he refuses to move closer because he hates cities. So he lives just in the middle of nowhere. So we went up to see him, which is always nice. Then we drove up to Reading the second day because I got some pictures of me near the Shasta Dam, because in my high school's engineering program, for junior year, we had a civil engineering course, and the teacher from the civil engineering course was a massive fan of the Shasta Dam and would constantly talk about the Shasta Dam. So between me and the friends I have from the engineering course, the Shasta Dam was a massive joke. So I just took a bunch of photos from there and sent it to all my friends. And then after that, we went all the way up to Crater Lake in Oregon. Now, Crater Lake is a volcano that is no longer a volcano. It's collapsed, and now it's just a massive lake. And there's an island in the middle of that lake called Wizard Island. And I was really excited to go to Wizard Island. But, so, California's been having like a drought for the past 10 years. And now, this year, the drought's like over, and they had like above average snowfall. So when we go there, everything is snowed over. So all the hiking trails are still have snow on them. There's still like 4 feet of snow around the lodge. The boat docks are completely covered in snow, so we cannot go to Wizard Island. So it was really disappointing because I was really excited to go to Wizard Island.
It was a test for you, Grant, to see if you were worthy to go to Wizard Island. You're supposed to create your own path.
Of course. I'm supposed to work my way through the hiking trails over to the boat docks to Wizard Island. No, but that was sad. So after that, we stayed in Oregon for a little while. The problem with Oregon is that the cell network for our phones is a California-based company. So it's like, as soon as we cross the border, I lose all cell service. And if we ever like leave a large city, there's just no cell service anywhere, which is really annoying. But what can you do? So we spent just a while just in Oregon. And it's Oregon. There's just trees. It's like Northern California. And then we started driving down the coast on the way back. And on the way back, we stopped in Arcata.
It's by Humboldt. My friend went there for college.
Just by Humboldt. Yeah. There's something about that which is just a nice coincidence. So we're in Arcata. We've just driven to this random Best Western, and we're checking in. And like I'm like asleep because I've been awake for like hours. Because I spent most of the week of my vacation editing the previous episode of this podcast. So by this time the podcast was done, but I hadn't slept in a while. And so I'm like asleep in the car, and my father like comes back and like wakes me up and is like, "Okay, the person at the front desk knows who you are. Can you go say hi to them?" So then I'm like, fuck, because I'm awful with names. So I'm like slow, just like quickly building like my mental list of names, trying to like remember like who this person might be. It's like, we're by Humboldt. Who do I know that goes to Humboldt? So I walk in there. You know, the reason I made this up is because both of you know her. Can you guess who I met? Who was the front desk person at a Best Western in Arcata? Do either of you want to guess?
Robin?
It's not Robin. Robin goes to Fresno.
What a loser.
No, we've known her for at least 12 years.
Oh, that long.
Yeah.
I was thinking like just high school.
No. We've known her for 12 years.
Samantha?
No, she just graduated from BC.
How do you know that?
Because my mom told me.
Why does your mom know that?
My mom just knows these things. Like,
Okay.
she, like, follows them on, like, social media or whatever.
That's just a little weird, but...
It is a little
Your
weird.
mom will keep up with your high school mates.
And I, couldn't care less.
Kara?
It's not Kara.
No, Kara goes to CSUB. Scratch that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. She used to live right near me. She used to live on the street across.
Yeah, I saw her in the... I occasionally had classes with her specifically for the honors program.
Okay.
Who else?
Can you name anyone else that went to our elementary school? I even gave you their gender, which is a big... which narrows it down quite a lot.
Well, I don't remember everyone's names. Autumn?
It's not Autumn. She's going to...
Vivian.
No, Vivian's going to Berkeley. I think Autumn's going to UCLA.
Oh, the other tryhards. They wouldn't go to Humboldt. You're right.
I didn't even realize Vivian went to Olive.
Did she go to Olive?
I didn't think so.
I actually
know
don't
if she
think
did.
so either.
I have, like, every yearbook if Sam wants to go check. But that would require him unplugging his headphones. Do you guys want me to tell you? Or is it
Yeah.
bad at this? Sam has one more guess.
I got one more. I think Gracie went to Olive, right?
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did? Okay.
Well,
It wasn't her.
judging by your answer,
Yeah.
it's not her.
No. No. You guys remember Madison?
Remember the
That
name,
name
don't
rings a
remember
bell.
the face.
She remembered both of you guys, so I'm amazed you guys don't remember her at all.
I don't think I've heard that name since at least, like, middle school.
Yeah, exactly. I hadn't spoken to her at all throughout high school.
Well, I'll look at her picture later and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she remembered both of you guys. I thought you guys would remember her more. I was amazed that I remembered her name, because I'm awful with names. Nah, she remembered both of you guys very well. She told me to tell you, Sam, that she's sorry for bullying you.
What?
So, she remembered Sam a lot. So, in 3rd grade, Sam, do you remember not inviting her to your birthday party?
Damn, people are this petty?
So I brought you up because everyone has like one friend from elementary school they still know, and so I brought like you up, and she's like, I remember Sam. He didn't invite me to his birthday party in 3rd grade. And she remembers specifically because you gave everyone else an invite, and then you walked up to her, and then you said, I don't have one for you.
I don't remember this at all.
And then she said this. You said that it made sense because she bullied you in 3rd grade. So, so she wanted to apologize to you for that. I had to wait a whole week to tell you this, and it took all my effort not to tell you this before now.
Huh. 3rd grade. I can't even remember who my teacher was.
That's brutal.
No, it was so funny. No, so we spent because she was just the front man, and she was the front man until 11 p.m., so we just talked for hours. Just about the people we used to know. Because she stays in contact with a few people, and I stay in contact with a few people, but very few overlap. So it's just a bunch of new information. So now it's just hilarious because it's just a small world. It's really interesting just to meet someone. Like I hadn't spoken to her like all of high school, so it's been like 4 years I was just not talking. We just run into each other at a Best Western and like just Arcata.
It's the middle of fucking nowhere in Northern California.
Exactly. It's funny how small the world is.
Yeah.
Also, do you guys remember from high school Nicholas?
No, I only remember Nick Haskell.
Yeah, so there were two Nicholases. The other was Nick, and he works at a McDonald's in Arcata.
Wow. Why did everyone? Well,
So-
yeah, Humboldt's pretty easy to get into, so I'm not surprised.
No,
people
he's
work
not
there.
going. He's not going to Humboldt.
What?
He's not going to Humboldt. He's going to the Arcata Community College.
To get into Humboldt, or just like to?
No, 'cause he wanted to get as far away from Bakersfield as possible.
Fair enough.
As soon as possible.
I can't blame him for that.
Arcata's a good place to go for that too.
No, so that's the best story from vacation, and that's what like just great. And then that was like the last day, because then we just drove all the way back to Bakersfield, and there's just been construction in my house for a week. It's been whatever. I had to stay at Sam's for one night because they shut off our water for a while. But, you know. Another funny thing, so I come back from vacation, and then I get a letter in the mail. So, I mentioned in episode 1 that I worked at an architecture office, and it takes them a while to process paychecks. So they sent me my May paycheck this month, and it also came with this letter that I'm now going to read, because it's funny and it made me mad. Okay, so, Dear Grant Zelinka, we regret to inform you that your employment as a student assistant with the Document Resource Center at Cal Poly Pomona has been terminated immediately. Enclosed is your final paycheck, which includes a total of 43 working hours during May 2019 until your last day of attendance. Wish you the best of luck in future endeavors. If you have any questions, please call. So, I come back from vacation and I'm immediately fired.
Wow.
So I call my old boss, and then she's like, yeah, we've been planning to do this for a while, and we just couldn't tell you until you got this letter. They sent the letter on May 29th, and I received it June 20th. So this was a month where I was definitely fired, and I had no idea. But they've replaced all the student assistant positions with a full-time position, which really annoys me because it was a great job.
Do you have any idea what you're going to do now?
I've got no, because I've now got to find a new job. So I've got to find like a new job for like the rest of the year, because now I have to pay rent somehow, because now I won't have this source of income, and it's just really annoying. And it makes sense. So I was working with 3 other people. 2 of them graduated, 1 of them transferred universities, so they'd have to hire 3 new students, and then have someone train them. So it makes financial sense to hire a full-time person, but it's still just really annoying because now I've lost my job. And that's, I don't know, it just really sucks because now I don't have a source of income and I've got to find a way to pay rent. And they raised the price of my rent this year, so my rent's gone up and I've lost my job. I don't know, money's going to be tight this year.
Yeah, it sounds like you're the only one that really suffered by this.
Yeah, because I was the only student still working there because the 3 other students had all left the university.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it's really annoying. It annoys me less. So the position, so I got the job because of my experience with AutoCAD. Do either of you know AutoCAD, Autodesk, any of that stuff?
No.
No.
You know what it is? Yeah. So it's modeling software is the easiest way to describe it, because like AutoCAD, Autodesk is like architecture modeling software for like buildings, and then Inventor is like 3D modeling, and Revit is like 3D modeling for buildings. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I have experience with thanks to high school. But the job is meant for architecture students because most city planning offices require like someone to know these programs. And it's just like a nice way to get experience before they enter the workforce. So, yes, I'm annoyed because I lost my job, but it's also like 4 architecture students a year are now not going to get like experience at school, which is just annoying. I dislike replacing student assistant positions with full-time positions because like while it makes financial sense for the university, I like the idea of students getting work experience while still in school.
Yeah, sometimes it isn't about the money.
Yeah. It's just really annoying to me, but what can I do?
They're all about the money as they increase your rent.
There's probably a better job
No.
out there somewhere.
I don't know. This was $16 an hour, and that was perfect. So I could work 16 hours a week and pay all my rent, which was fantastic. So then this was a great job. I'm gonna miss it. So my vacation, I've been fired. That's basically all my stories.
So, to Italy,
To Italia.
All'Italia. Um, I want to start like on the way to Italy because there's like a weird, like, I guess, little anecdote that I was like, okay. So when we're
So like flying.
no, this isn't LAX. Because if we're LAX to Rome, because that's like the only international terminal, I guess, or like the only place that flies to LA in Italy, like in the entire country,
Not is it? Wait. Is it a non-stop LA?
it's
to Rome?
nonstop LA to Rome. It's 12 hours.
That's that's a long flight.
I'm
I've
used
to
to it.
transfer,
I've
like,
done that like 5 times now. A 12-hour
I hate long
LAX
flights.
to
I,
Europe. You get used to it. You just,
you're so fucking bourgeois.
I know.
I've flown to Europe
I've
so
flown
many
to Eu-
times. I've just gotten used to the 12-hour flights. Butler, please bring me my wine.
Anyway, after sounding way more bougie than I really want to, like I really do hate talking about like going to Europe because it makes me feel so bougie when I really don't deserve it because I didn't like earn going to Europe, but whatever.
You yourself still have no
Yeah,
money.
I have no money, I have no job. I've been out of a job since April. Was it April or was it March? Around that time period.
Don't ask me, I'm not the one that fired you.
No, I quit. I beat them to the punch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in LAX and we're going up to like the TSA to get like throw our stuff in the
Before you get on your private plane.
yeah, on our private jet made out of solid gold.
Of course.
I like me and my sister like sort of in the front of the line. We're like ready to like get like pull out the bin and put all our stuff in it so they can run it through like the thing and then we go through the metal detector.
Are your shoes like already off? Are you just ready to go?
No, I'm like kind of like preparing myself to like put all my stuff in the bin. And in front of me I see like a couple like fairly young Asian people. And like one's probably like around 14 and the other's like maybe 16, something like that. They look like brother and sister. And the sister like goes like ahead and the brother like kind of stands there for a minute and like the guy he's like yelling at everyone like get all your stuff out, put it in the bins, yada yada yada. And the kid like looks a little confused and like doesn't know where like to go and there's like a space for him to like start putting his stuff in the bin. And I see in his hand he's holding a Japanese passport. And I immediately thought, oh Christ, they're just yelling at like this 14-year-old boy who doesn't speak English. This is kind of shitty. And like we go through a little bit and I like look over and I see him like talking to like a security guard like a little bit ahead. And I was like, oh, why am I worrying? He can speak English apparently.
Because I've got stories about the TSA. So my family went to Washington, D.C. about a year ago. And because my father is part of the Air National Guard, we got to go through the military TSA, which is so much more chill than the normal TSA. And because of how my schedule worked out, I had just finished working at a Boy Scout summer camp before going to DC. So my bag still had a number of things that you aren't allowed to have on planes in it that I had forgot about. So for the military TSA, yeah, you just throw your bags through an x-ray machine, you walk the metal detector, and you're all good. But on the way back, our flight got canceled. Then we got transferred to another flight that then got canceled. And then we had to get another flight the next morning. But we didn't do something where we didn't have the military TSA for this like third rescheduling of this flight. So we had to go through normal TSA. So they actually had to open my bag and search it. And then they also had to search me, like which I hadn't had to do before. And in my bag, I not only had 6 lighters in my bag, I not only had 2 pocket knives in my bag, I not only had my letter opener in my bag, but I had multiple sandwiches in my bag, which they then made me open and prove to them that they were sandwiches. And then I had to walk through like a metal detector, and then they had to pat me down, and they had to pat down my hair quite a lot, because my hair is rather poofy. and they had to pat down just my hair to prove I had nothing in my hair. It was just so annoying because like it was like way more than I was used to, and they took away my knives, and I was sad.
Yeah, one time when I went on a flight, I had a pocket knife with me, and they took it away, and I was pretty sad.
Yeah. Problem was mine was like I had a friend named Brett at the summer camp, and he burned his name into the knife. I'm sad I lost it because like now it's with the TSA somewhere. It was a nice heirloom.
Well, you know, the TSA has a Instagram where they post like stuff they take from people on it.
That's mean. I don't like that at all. That's just rude. I do not approve. Big thumbs down.
Yeah, they should just get rid of TSA. I think that every time, like when I go through TSA, I just think like, why is this still here?
I don't know. I think
It's from 9/11.
okay, I know it is, but I think the reason that it's there is that the existence deters terrorists. Like the idea of that much security is enough to deter terrorists, even though they've been proved ineffective. I think like their presence itself prevents terrorism just by having that much annoying security. Even if it is like not really effective.
Because in like Italy, you have to go through like a special line, just like if you're flying to America. It's weird. I think they made us do that in Paris too. Anyway, we get to Rome, and Rome, well, Italy in general in the summer sucks. It's like 90 and humid, just the worst combination. The
So Bakersfield plus
yeah, it's Bakersfield plus wet. It's like the worst. So the traffic is like it's on like the fakey cobble roads, and there are no lines in the road, so people just do whatever they want. So like you can just drive through like a plaza full of people and like narrow alleyways with like cafes like right up to like where the cars are supposed to be, and the people are like in between the cafes. It's the craziest stuff you'll see, guaranteed.
That sounds very stress inducing.
It's stress inducing to be in the car. Once you're out of it, you just like look at the car and you're like, hit me, I dare you. But my first real story was we went like up the way to get some gelato, and we came back and I finished my gelato. So I was looking for a place to throw it away because there's no like public trash cans. Well, there were like some, but like they don't care. There's like trash everywhere, but
Well, wouldn't public trash cans like ruin the atmosphere of this ancient city?
yeah, but there's also trash everywhere, so it kind of balances out, I guess.
Oh, so
And they're like the sewer's like cooking over, and you can like smell like the shit in the sewer.
wasn't the sewer still like from like Roman times or whatever?
Yeah,
Isn't the sewer like 2,000 years old?
I don't know if they use like a modern sewer, if they just keep using that, but you can smell it. It's nice and fermented,
That's sad.
just for you. Anyway, I see like this other gelato shop. I'm like, cool, they have a trash can. So I like walk in. It's like this very narrow. It's probably like 1.5 meters wide and maybe 4 or 5 meters deep.
KK, please translate for us Americans here. Put that into freedom units.
It's like maybe 7 feet wide and 4 or 5 yards like long.
Okay, thank you.
And I walk in, I see the trash can, and I throw my like empty gelato cup in there, and my hands like have a little bit of gelato on them because it melted over. So I walk in a little deeper to grab some napkins to wipe my hands off, and the lady at the bar yells, "No, you're not getting any. Get out. This is not your house." It's like, okay, I'll just go somewhere else then, I guess.
You slowly backed
I was
out.
like, well, I don't want to get stabbed. So, or get gelato thrown at me, make my sticky hand situation worse by having gelato on my shirt. So I just go to the fountain and I just wash my hands there. Because like they at the
like a public fountain. You just like walk up to a public fountain, just dip your hands.
yeah,
in.
they have like public fountains, but off to the side they have like these spigots that come off that like pour a little water into like the sewer basically,
Okay.
or like some sort of like water drainage.
So you didn't go and desecrate a fountain.
No, but I probably should have. But anyway, Like how like the fountain things work where like you can get water in Rome is you can put your thumb on the bottom of it where the water comes out like a normal spigot and it comes off like a little special hole on the top and it sprays out like a real thin spurt of water. That's sort of like a regular water fountain in America.
Except with your thumb on the way.
No, on the bottom, on the top of the spigot. You really have to see a picture or a video of it to like get it. It's weird.
Is it not just like a normal water spigot where you just twist the top and water comes out?
No, the water is always coming out of the spigot.
Oh, it's always coming out.
Yeah, so you just put your thumb on the bottom and the pressure from the water kicks it out of a different hole, like a bit above like the hole on the bottom.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. So we spent a few days in Rome. We went to the Vatican Museum and the actual like cathedral. And that was really it. And the Forum.
You didn't visit the shortest railway in the world?
I did not. It was too hot and I couldn't think straight. And it was a very long walk.
Oh, that's lame. Vatican City's got a lot of nifty things for an area half a square kilometer.
Yeah, I went to the post office though, so I can check that off my list.
Did you buy a bunch of Vatican City stamps?
I did not. I didn't have any money on me.
Aww.
We've already gone over how he doesn't have money.
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of money, but I wasn't like thinking about buying some stamps.
Parents didn't give you any spending money for in Italy, like souvenirs and things?
They gave me a little bit, but I had some money on me from when I went to Europe before, it was in the Eurozone.
Oh, I still have my money from my previous trips to Italy.
I didn't have much money, only like 35 euro. But I think I spent most of it on like a couple other things. I bought some gelato for everyone.
So here I am, don't know how euros convert.
A euro is a little bit more than $1.
Okay.
Things in Italy are fairly cheap. It's like Bakersfield. Maybe a little bit more
The
expensive.
whole country's like Bakersfield.
Well, price-wise. Some places are a bit more expensive because it'd be like that, but...
Some places are more expensive. Some places are less expensive. I'm just describing any city in the world.
Yeah. But, like, food, like, if to get, like, a plate of food is, like, maybe 10 to 13-ish euro. Probably a bit more, but it's a decent price to eat there. The Vatican Museum is okay. The Forum is all right. Like, it's literally just a bunch of, like, beat up old buildings that are just, like, by the wayside. You just walk by it and you're like, wow, this is where Caesar walked. It's hot. I'm going to go home now. The actual Cathedral of Vatican is 100% worth it, but you have to go like fairly early.
Is this the Sistine Chapel, or is this something else?
I went to the Sistine Chapel the day before I went to the actual Cathedral of the Vatican. The chapel's like off to the side by the museum.
Okay.
The chapel's okay. The entire ceiling is copyrighted, so you can't take any pictures of it.
What?
I know.
Who owns the copyright? Michelangelo painted it like 700 years ago.
But they restored it, so that's how they got the copyright on it for 25 years.
Fuck
and that was in the
off.
90s. So it's coming to a close.
No. That is so stupid.
That's just how Italy is. It's just really fucky.
That is so stupid. I'm gonna copyright this 700-year-old painting by like washing it with like a bucket of water or whatever.
They literally did it with a bucket of water and like a sponge. It was that easy because it was like
That is
normal
so
paint.
stupid.
Yeah.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. The Sistine Chapel really is just like it's the Sistine Chapel. You've seen pictures of it, it's good enough.
No, isn't it always nicer to see things like in person? It's like I can look at the Mona Lisa online, but I'm sure like seeing it in person is like a different experience.
Yeah, it's like you're looking at the Mona Lisa and you're like, wow, there are way cooler paintings in this room than the Mona Lisa.
Like Grant said, a different experience.
You're right, but yeah, I guess
know, I
that's
just
where
feel like
people
there's-
come from. Because I wasn't like genuinely impressed, like wowed, like oh my god, I've finally seen the Sistine Chapel, my life's goal.
I don't know. I always think it's like, I don't know. I think seeing it in person is like a different thing than just looking at it online. Because yeah, I can look at the Sistine Chapel with like much greater detail than I ever could with my eyes. But That's not the same thing as being there. I think like that experience is like worth it. Just like being there and seeing it with your own eyes is just a completely different thing than looking at it online.
Yeah. I guess I was just like hot and pissed off a little bit. So I was just like, I'm not really feeling looking at the Sistine Chapel.
How are you not used to the heat? You lived in Bakersfield for like what?
It's like
15 years?
it was just the worst because it comes off the pavement too. Well, you use that from Bakersfield, but I don't know. The heat out there just hits different. This shit just hits
The heat
different.
just hit different.
The heat just hits different out there, man.
Whatever you say.
The Vatican is 100% worth it. Even though I've seen like some of the things that are in the Vatican, but seeing it in real life was like, wow, this is actually amazing. This is worth it.
Did you see any of the what's the name of the red bishops? The ones that
The Cardinals?
Cardinals, yeah.
I think I'm seeing a couple Cardinals there. I saw a couple Cardinals in Florence.
Okay.
And I think I saw a bishop in Venice.
You can see bishops anywhere. Those aren't like special.
That's true.
There's bishops in America. That's not yeah.
Yeah, there's bishops
There's
everywhere.
a bishop outside this window.
Well, there's a bishop
Yeah,
in
there's like
Fresno. It's not that far.
Yeah, there's 4 bishops in this room. I don't know what's the problem.
I mean, there are 4 bishops on the chess table.
That was the joke.
Oh, shit.
You got it. Good job.
Claps for Simon.
It took me a bit. But, like, being at the Vatican is like feeling like you're dead and that you've gone to the pearly gates or heaven or your preferred afterlife. Because, like, I don't know, just like walking through and just looking at like the grandness of the Vatican and like hearing like the quiet organ like seep up through your body is just like, it's something else.
So the shadow realm.
Yeah, it came through me. And I heard the voice of God and he said, I'm sorry, but you're dead. So after Rome, we went to Capri because my dad is the bougie one of the bunch, really. And Capri is sort of like the Beverly Hills of Italy.
So it's like the movie star like area?
Yeah, like people who like are rich and famous go there, I guess. But like, I don't care. Like no one in my family like really cared. It's a beautiful place, but like, I don't think any of us were like, I'd go here again because I'm bougie and I want to see like a movie star or whatever. It's really like Hollywood Boulevard.
Did you make a Capri Sun joke while you were there?
I wish I did.
Simon, you disappoint me.
I know. Capri's just real different. That's all I can really say. It's real pretty. We saw Jason Statham 4 times in one day, but not at Capri.
Wait. You saw Jason Statham 4 times in one day?
Yeah. I guess technically 3, but who gives a shit?
Where did you see him 3 times in one day?
South of Capri and north of Positano.
No,
Because
like
my
where?
dad is just super bougie. So he rented like a boat like tour from Capri just a bit south of like near like on the other side of the peninsula from Sorrento.
I know where Sorrento is. That's where the olives come from.
Right, and they also have a lot of lemons. They have like these giant lemons that are like half the size of your head. It's wild. But the boat people took us to this restaurant that's in like a nook on the coast, and like I guess you can either get there by car or boat, but I guess boat is like the preferred way because like a water taxi will come out and like take you to the restaurant. So on the way to that restaurant, we saw him on jet skis with like his wife.
How close were you to recognize him if he was on a jet ski?
Fairly close. He was probably like 20 yards away, 20, 30 yards.
He was just splashing water on your family.
No, he just like zipped by and we're like, is that fucking Jason Statham?
Yeah, I never would have been able to recognize someone at that distance on a jet ski.
Well, it's just like, this is a bald person who looks like I've seen that bald person before.
Do you not know many numbers of bald people?
No, well, I know my grandfather, he's bald.
+1.
So at least two bald people. Anyway, I think that's really important. But like everyone in my family was like, shit, it was Jason Statham. So we went to the restaurant, we ate, it's good. We went back down to like the water taxi to like take it back. And the guy told us like to wait there. And he sort of like stood there and then we like kind of like looking around like, oh, what the fuck is he waiting for? And we look behind us. And we see Jason Statham in like aviators and like a bucket hat. There's like a red and white striped bucket hat running down the stairs to like the water taxi. Didn't get to not get seen by anyone, but we saw him. And my mom like said, we liked you in Snatch. And he's like,
That's the
cool.
movie
And
you
then
pick, Snatch.
that's the movie my mom picked. Snatch. Snatch is a great movie. He was good in that movie.
I mean, he was
the
good, but it's
water
not the
taxi-
movie that I'd say immediately.
Well, I
Prime
think
choice.
it'd be best to go for like an old movie he was in. You'd be like, oh, this person like knows who the fuck I am.
I guess.
So he goes up to like his yacht, and
Did you not take any pictures
I guess
with him?
I didn't. No, we didn't.
Aw, you miss like
We
every
saw him for,
opportunity,
like-
Simon.
Well, none of us had phones on us.
Wait, you just went to like a restaurant. How do you not have phones on you?
None of us took any phones to the boat.
What?
We didn't want to like worry about dropping into the water.
Whatever. Your whole family's weird.
Yeah, we're weird. My dad's the weirdest one. That's why we went to Capri. And he goes to like his yacht, and he gets his kid and comes back, and we see him again. And my mom mentions another film, and he's like, "Cool." He says like, "Cheers, man." And he goes off to like the restaurant to eat like a normal person. And that's sort of like the end of that leg. No, it isn't. So to get to Capri, which is an island off of Naples, you have to obviously go to Naples and get a taxi from the train station or however you got to Naples to the ferry station to take the ferry to Capri.
Okay, I didn't
So
know it was an
we-
island. I thought it was actually like that was like a peninsula.
No, well, there's a peninsula next to it, but it's an island off the peninsula.
Okay.
We are at the ferry station in Naples, and we're like, Naples is like extremely run down. Like imagine like New York in like the industrial era, like all the Italians have moved there, and like you see like just shit everywhere, and just like the clothes on the clotheslines and everything's all like squished together, and like everyone's just like aggressive. I guess that's sort of what Naples is like, but like today. So it's really sketchy. So we get picked up by this guy for the taxi, and we're driving a little bit, and he's talking about how like he has a cousin in America and he owns pizza, like a pizza thing in Seattle, and like he owns like a share in it. And he asks us, "Oh, have you guys been to Naples before?" And we're like, "No, not really." And he's like, "Do you guys want any pizza while you're here? Since you guys have a few hours before the train leaves?" And we're like, "Sure." So he takes us to like this important cathedral in Naples, which is surprisingly really cool. He takes us there, and we leave the car with without the bags that we brought.
10 out of
And like
10.
he just sits by
Brilliant.
the car, and just talks to like a couple people while we're in the cathedral. And then we come back, and he takes us to a couple places that are like too full. So he takes us to like this place that I guess he knew the owners of. So like they're not open yet, but he talks to them to like let us in, and they let us in. And we have some Neapolitan margarita pizza, and it was really good. Super cheap too. We got like 2 pizzas and 3 beers for €21, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, let me convert €21 to America
Get an exact amount.
to like show you the bullshit that is Italian prices.
So you got a beer too while you were in Italy?
You did say 3.
Yeah, I had beer several times. It's $23 in America.
I don't know. How much is like medium pizza, like Pizza Hut? Isn't it like $7?
No clue.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. Seems like about like the right price. $23 for pizzas and beers.
I guess I'm just too used to paying too much for things.
I mean, yeah, you live in like richy rich part of California.
I know, I don't like it. Anyway, that was very nice. He was surprisingly trustworthy, given that Naples is very trash. So we went to Florence, And Florence is it's a lot like Paris, but a lot more toned down, I guess you could say, in like the speed. Like it's just a lot more college town. So you see a lot of American students and a lot of like Chinese and Korean students there.
So it's just a tourist hotspot.
Yeah, but there's a lot of students too. We went to the Uffizi. The Uffizi is like really okay. I'm not a big Renaissance art person, so there's like a few important things by like Botticelli, like Venus, and can't believe I'm blanking on like some of the other stuff.
The only thing I know about the Uffizi is that it's a wonder in Civ 5.
Yeah, that's sort of like why I was like I need to go here because it's a wonder in Civ 5. You could check that off the list of places I've been that are wonders in Civ 5.
Gamer objectives.
We ate a lot of McDonald's in Florence, and that's where I had to speak the most Italian. Ironically, was at McDonald's.
Why did you guys go to McDonald's in Florence of all the restaurants?
Because we were really tired. Like we just like crash and then like we'd be like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, nothing's open except for McDonald's.
What do they call a quarter pounder in Florence?
Probably a Royale.
A battle royale.
But I didn't get any quarter pounders because they had this thing in Italy called the country chicken. And it's really good. And I don't know why they sell it in America or why they don't sell it in America. Because like it's a country roll. And it has like grilled chicken, bacon, lettuce, this weird like mayo-based red sauce, and I wouldn't know the name of. And like only one time I had like these French onion bits on it, but it was really good with it, and it's just really good.
I'm sure you can order that at McDonald's. Maybe without, not with the French onions, but like everything else sounds like a real just menu item.
Maybe. My dad, on top of being bougie, is a scooter fanatic, like old Italian scooter fanatic.
Oh, that meant like Scooter the band.
No, the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So
It's like motorized scooters or like push scooters?
yeah, motorized like a Vespa.
Oh, like a Vespa.
I remember seeing those at your house when I did come over.
Yeah, only he was more of a Lambretta person. Is more of a Lambretta person. He has one. That was like probably the highlight of the trip for me. Was just driving through Tuscany on a scooter going like 40 kilometers an hour.
Okay, what's that in miles per hour?
Not that much. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. But my sister was the only one who wiped out.
Ooh.
Did you laugh?
I was like, I don't know what I should have expected.
I don't know, you're only going like 10 miles an hour, so it probably wasn't that bad.
No, we were going like 20 at that point. So I looked at it later and 20 is 12, so I guess 40 would be 24. But yeah, she fucked up her hand pretty okay. She didn't break anything, thank God. But like that day I had some beer like at a restaurant and I was like a little buzzed and I went down like a gravel hill downhill. So I was surprised I didn't wipe out. But my sister like did the same thing but without any alcohol. So I think she's just not good or just terribly unlucky.
She's not gamer enough.
She's not a gamer. Doesn't play enough Mario Kart. What else did we do in Florence? We really just walked around. Florentine people are, well, at least Florentine like business people / business owners are interesting in that they'll talk to you, like if they're like at a restaurant, they happen to be sitting next to you and they know that like you're an American, then they'll like talk to you and have like a regular conversation and then like drop like, hey, you should come to my store, like partway through the conversation.
In English or
In
this
English.
Italian? Ooh, okay.
No one in my family speaks Italian. My dad pretends he can speak Spanish and he pretends that Spanish and Italian are the same language.
What they aren't?
I wonder why they call them Spanish and Italian and not just Spitalian.
Abbreviated to spit.
Spit. Anyway, I guess he didn't really try any of that shit because I think he knew that I would know. Because even though I don't speak Italian, I could like know that he was bullshitting. And then like speak faux Italian at that person, like just really just French at them.
Speak angry French at them.
Pardon-moi, je n'aime pas cette royale avec fromage.
In English.
Excuse me, I don't like this quarter pounder with cheese.
He's talking about something completely different, and that's how you respond to him.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it my best shot, like, whenever I was, like, ordering something to, like, say it in Italian, because Italian isn't hard to read, like French.
There's no extra consonants at the end of every word.
No, it all ends with vowels, for the most part.
See, how bad is your American accent? Because I know from speaking with people in other languages, I've got a really strong American accent that I can't shake. So how bad is yours?
I was in an Italian club in high school when I went to Carmel, and we had like an Italian exchange student, and she told me that I had a French accent when I spoke Italian. So I don't know how I figured that out, but apparently that's how I sound in Italian.
Okay.
But that was like several years ago, so I think my Italian is just way worse as well. Of course, my Italian wasn't good then either.
The ultimate deception. Make the Italians think you're French.
So after Florence, we went to Venice. And Venice is really something else. It's a little overrated, I think. It's not really romantic. It's just like, at least in the summer, it's just miserably hot. And there's just like tourists of the wazoo, and like you can see like all the cruise ships like going in and out of the city.
Yeah, it feels like the wrong time of the year to go to Venice due to just number of tourists.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people there. So it made it like not really fun to be in.
With all the canals to swim in, you think you'd be nice and cool and the heat wouldn't matter.
I wouldn't trust the canals if I were you.
You can swim everywhere you go. You don't have to walk anywhere.
Simon, why don't you trust the canals?
Just jump on in. The water's fine.
I don't know. They don't smell trustworthy. Plus, I don't know where the sewer lines go.
I'd bet there is none and it's all septic.
Yeah, whatever. I don't really have much to say about Venice. It's just a pretty city. Yeah, Venice is just insanely pretty. It's just the old world charm that you would expect.
Didn't have a nice gondola ride while you were
No,
there.
it's 80
You
euro.
guys did nothing in Italy.
Yeah, that's why I said I could talk about this for maybe 30 minutes.
You just went places and pointed like, hey, look, there's that thing. The
Wow,
end.
it's the Pope. Whatever.
Did you guys sing like the song? The moon hits your eye like a big pizza.
No, but they
pie."
were playing that in Capri,
Capri, not in Venice?
not in Venice.
Whatever, Simon.
I did watch the Torture Dance in Capri, which is a massive JoJo reference, and I did.
Oh, yeah.
I did listen to Venice's theme in Venice from Civ 5.
One more thing about Italy. Like, how was the food? Like, what kind of restaurants did you go to?
Well, there are only Italian restaurants in Italy, believe it or not.
Whoa.
I don't believe you. Like,
There are like Chinese restaurants and like McDonald's. There are no other like fast food. There's only McDonald's, at least from what I saw.
but not every restaurant is Italian, is it?
Just about.
Every single one just serves
It's like a
pasta
solid
and-
80% of the restaurants are Italian. Well, Italian cuisine. They may not be owned by Italians, but it's Italian cuisine nonetheless.
Fair enough, because I'd spent I spent a week driving around Northern California and Oregon, and like every kind of restaurant under the sun just exists in California.
I know. It's almost like there are more than one people group that lives in America. Well, in Italy, there are Italians.
Listen to this Casa Pound motherfucker. Italy for Italians.
There are a lot of migrants there. They're only like mildly annoying. Like they will come up to you and be like, "Buy my shit, please." Even if you're like in a restaurant, like they'll come up into the restaurant and like be like, "You want to buy some bracelets?"
Do they have like the briefcase with legs from that one Twilight Zone episode
No, they just have like all their like stuff on them.
in like a trench coat?
No, like it's just on their person, like you can see it. Or they'll like these weird African things that they're like selling. And they'll come up to you and ask you for the time for no reason. I mean, the Italians didn't seem to pay them any mind, so I guess they're cool. Like some of them are just like chatting, like, "Hey, neighbor, like, how are you doing today? Peddling your stuff as usual." So like, I guess they'd have like a regular relationship with them, which is respectable.
Fair enough. But like, if they're all just Italian places, were like all of them just like of standard quality, or were any of them
Yeah, there's like standard to good quality.
or were any of them like extraordinarily good or
No,
extraordinarily bad?
there were a couple that were like really good, and there none that were like truly bad. Like pretty much most restaurants will be like pasta, pasta with fish, pasta with meat and or fish,
Pasta with
and
pasta.
pizza, pasta with pasta, pasta with cheese, pasta with sauce, that sort of thing.
Wow. Who would have thought pasta with sauce?
Meat inside pasta, pasta inside meat.
Had everything under the sun. Towards the end, I started getting petto di pollo alla milanese a bit more often. It's just fried chicken.
It's just Italian fried chicken.
It's literally Italian fried chicken. I think it's even like in Mexican cuisine too. I'd have to double check that because I think I see milanese at Mexican restaurants.
They might have just gotten it from Spain.
Well, from Milan. It's a Milanese dish, but they did control Milan for a while, so that's probably where they got it from. I would say Italian food it's good,
Yeah, it's definitely in like the top 10.
both
foods.
in America and in Italy. It's a top 10 food. It's probably my top 5.
It'd be in my top 3.
What is your top 3 foods in no particular order, Sam?
That's a tough question.
American, Italian. That's about it.
How do you define American food?
Yes, the two genders, Italian and American food.
I just think burgers. That's about it.
I guess chicken strips also qualify as American food for you.
Hey, yeah, I guess. I can't think of where else you would qualify it.
There are places in Italy where you can find that. I think there was only one restaurant we went to where like you could get chicken strips.
You went to a restaurant specifically for chicken strips?
No, but they were on the menu.
They were a bonus.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, that restaurant also had a bar, so it's probably why they had the chicken strips.
That doesn't make any sense to
To
me.
suck up some beer.
Chicken strips and beer is not a combo that I
Oh.
usually think of.
Speaking of chicken strips and beer, on the last day of Venice, we had to like be out of the hotel, but like we couldn't go anywhere, so we went to a pub. Yeah, so we went to a pub. Took us forever to find it again. And at the pub, I had 2 beers and pollo alla milanese. And I was like really feeling the effects of the beer because they were like proper like beer. It was a light beer, but it was like a proper like portion size of beer. It wasn't like just a bottle of beer. It was like the full like glass full of beer.
Oh, was it actually like a full pint?
I don't know if it was I don't know how big a pint is to be frank, but
You're not well up on your imperial measurements.
no.
So think of a half liter. It's a little more than a half liter. If you want to live in this fantasy metric world.
Well, numbers are fantasy. It was around a pint. In the ballpark of a pint. I couldn't tell you for sure. But I had 2 of them before eating, and then I ate. And like I was at the point where like my whole body felt numb and it was a little hard to walk. So I had to like trek across Venice in the heat. And I was sitting in the hotel lobby like waiting for like the water taxi to pull up. And I realized right there, oh shit, I have to act normal and I have to get into a boat with luggage. So I wrote to like my friends.
I don't think I'd ever be that comfortable to drink like 2 beers with my family. I don't have that kind of like relationship with them.
Well, I was feeling a little comfortable. Okay, here's what I said. Note, I've had 2 big boy beers before eating and I'm feeling it. Also, I'm about to try and climb onto a boat with luggage. It's a farewell note.
Last will.
My last will and testament as I drown in Venice.
Swims in the canal while drunk.
Yeah,
The Wombo combo.
I had beer like 2 times in Venice, and then I had beer like a couple more times in other parts of the world.
So beer is your preferred alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
So what would you say your alcohol tolerance is?
Pretty okay. I like the first time like I got buzzed, I had 4 shots of vodka and I was okay. I wasn't as drunk as I had those 2 beers.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was just like it had gone like a little weak, or if it was just like I was hot and I had not had anything to eat and I had like maybe like 3 bottles ish worth of beer.
Maybe.
Grant, have you had anything?
Of course. So
He just admitted to it.
I just admitted to it. So, I'm trying to think of ever drinking outside of a Yu-Gi-Oh context. So, I mean, I've had my grandfather makes his own wine. So when we went to visit him, I had a couple glasses of wine with him, and I've had like glasses of champagne with my parents. But so at school, a lot of people I play Yu-Gi-Oh with are significantly older than me. Cause like my friend Beto, he's like married with kids. So whenever we play Yu-Gi-Oh, he'll always have like just beer or like a dark liquor. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually drank and not immediately then played Yu-Gi-Oh. Cause I have other friends who buy alcohol. So like I told you about the time when we stole a bunch of steaks and just bought some beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer wine. I think wine tastes a lot better than beer. And I think like dark liquor tastes a lot better than beer. But beer is just what everyone buys. And it's just the cheapest thing.
Yeah, it's just easy to buy on bulk.
Yeah. I like beer with like a bit more flavor though. Like I like Mike's Hard Lemonade more than like Bud Light or Coors. And I like Modelo's quite a lot. Just because they have more flavor. But I never had
I
like
don't know
real
what
beer
beers I
like
had
that.
in Italy. I just had like light beer.
Oh, okay. Do you ever like on tap? Like a local beer?
I don't know. I don't know what beer I had.
You just have
I just
not
asked for
know
a
that.
light beer and they're like, okay. And then they gave it to me and I drank it and I was like, damn, this is good.
Hmm.
I had an IPA and I hated that. It was
Mm,
gross and I like could barely like put it down. But I powered through it.
fair enough.
Italy has really good wine. I would prefer Italian wine to American wine. Because American wine is like aggressive, but Italian wine is just like there's a little bit of alcohol, so you can just like drink it
What's like the
and just be
percentage of
normal.
Italian wine then? Do you know the proof?
No, I didn't look. It's probably like 8.
That's low. I know my grandfather's was a bit over 20.
That's a lot. That's like some heavy duty shit.
It's I don't know. Like vodka, like my roommate had like a massive thing of raspberry vodka and that was 40.
Okay, we had some Sangiovese. Because I know wines teeter around like maybe around 10 to 15. Anyway, Italian wine is just milder than American wine, so I prefer it.
Makes sense.
I had mead in Sweden when it was
That's
hot.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was a little rough on me. I like was really tired after that. After just one mead. Mead is like beer, but like a bit thicker, and it tastes a little different.
Isn't it made of
But
honey?
it tastes like beer. Yeah, it's made with honey. It
Yeah,
tastes
so
like
would it
beer
be, yeah, I
though.
feel like it would be thicker and sweeter. That's what it I don't know, in my mind that's what it would be, but I've never had it before.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I prefer cider though. Cider's real good.
Oh, but Grant, I was asking you on your alcohol stuff, specifically what your tolerance was.
I've never gotten actually drunk before.
You
The-
haven't hit your limit.
No, because
Me neither.
I've always, I always tell people I'm a lightweight and don't know if that's actually true, and I'm scared to find out just because I don't know what my tolerance is. So I've always just drank under it. So the most I've ever had, I'm trying to think, it's like the most I've ever had there was a couple glasses of dark liquor and like 2 Modelo's. I've never had that much. I'm trying to think. I don't know how to like equivalent it into like a measurable like unit.
You really can't.
I don't know how to like turn like glasses of liquor into like shots worth or like percentage of alcohol because I don't know that number. I've never drank into that much. Normally, it's just me and my friends cracking like a bunch of beers over a long period of time.
Understandable.
I thought you were gonna say you're scared because you don't know what kind of drunk you are.
I don't know that either, but I'm less scared about that than just being drunk and then not being in control of what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I don't want to drink too much.
That's why I also don't like roller coasters because I don't like the feeling of not being in control. But I don't know. I probably will get drunk someday, but it's just never happened yet.
I mean, I turned 21 in October, so we can have this arranged over winter break.
If I ever come to see you in Santa Barbara,
It's Modelo time.
I do enjoy Modelo's. They have a nice flavor, especially with lime.
I've never had one, so we can work that out.
They're cheap. You can get a 24 pack for like $28. It's really
That's
cheap.
not bad.
Yeah.
Sam, have you had alcohol yet?
Yeah, because you've been biggest for like this entire time.
Nothing of significance has happened.
Really? There's not many massive parties at CSUB?
Nope. Only like one new work story, that's about it. And it's also a short one. So it's just another day at work being on the register, as I usually am. Just checking people out, and then checking like this one lady out, and she asked me where I was from or if I was from Bakersfield. I was like, yes, I'm from Bakersfield. And then she goes, oh, because you have a southern accent. I'm like, okay.
That's just the accent of Bakersfield.
Like, I don't know anything about accents. Or at least I don't think of mine as a southern accent. What is in my mind a southern accent?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever you tell me this story, I think you like mentally switch to a more southern accent. Because whenever you tell this story, I noticeably like hear you more southern than you normally are.
I mean, I did it on purpose this time.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I catch myself with like a little bit of a southern accent when I'm talking.
We all secretly want to be southern.
No, I think it's just how Bakersfield is.
Yeah, Bakersfield is a very southern place.
Yeah. Because I was told that in San Francisco one time by a shop clerk. They're like, oh, where are you from? And I was like, I'm from California. I'm from Bakersfield. And he was like, oh, I thought you're from the South. You have a southern accent.
No one's ever told me I had a southern accent, but people have told me that I've got a very American accent.
It is just America's accent.
America's got like a few accents, though.
I feel like it's just the accent, though.
Yeah.
Not like the standard, hello, I'm an American. My name is George Washington. I work in a car factory in Detroit accent.
So yeah, that's about everything of significance that happened here. Nothing.
It's a regular day in Bakersfield.
Alright, I think I got another fake 100, but that's about it.
Fake 100?
Yep.
Counterfeit?
Looked at it. I was like, I don't think so.
Oh, money! I was confused.
Grant's not keeping it 100 out here.
I had no idea what you're talking about until you put up your hands in that, like, I'm holding money kind of pose.
Where were you thinking? Or did you not even know?
I don't know, you said fake 100, and I'm like, what could this possibly mean? Is this a video game? Is this more of your anime Discord? I don't know what's going on.
This waifu is a fake 100.
I was tricked.
It's counterfeit waifus on the Discord server.
Simon, when are you going to send me David's cock?
Oh, I sent it in the mail Saturday.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to
could've said
keep that out of
yesterday.
context. I feel like it's better that way. I really should have talked about that.
Yeah, that's a story you could have told while we were talking about Italy, but no,
Well,
you're
I'm
good.
forgetful. So in Florence, like a lot of well, not a lot. Like you have to go to like a specific place to find that kind of shit. Is they'll just have like things with like Michelangelo's David's cock on it. So they have like magnets. They had shorts with like it on it. And in Venice, they like they expounded upon that, and there were varying lengths, to say the least, on like
But the statue only has one length.
I know, but they had the extended edition on the cooking aprons.
Of course.
So I should have bought one of those, but whatever. We could probably find it on Amazon anyway.
It's less funny that way.
I guess it's a good story nonetheless, if not short.
So as soon as it arrives, it's going right on Sam's fridge.
Wait a minute.
This whole operation was your idea.
No, I don't think my parents would appreciate that.
That's the whole point of the joke, is that they wouldn't appreciate it. It's gonna be it for one day and one day only.
Goes in and out in the same day.
Exactly.
So Sam, you have not
Yes.
gone to any parties and or like consumed any sort of alcohol?
I have never consumed any alcohol. I have gone to parties where there was alcohol, though. I just opted no.
Were you like the designated driver, or are you just saying no?
I just said no.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't even driving anyone.
Fair enough.
Because one of my hesitations for drinking is I have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease.
Ah.
I'd rather not do that yet.
Oh, I see.
No, yeah, that makes sense. What is like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? Like, what does that entail?
Like, despite not having consumed any alcohol, my liver activity is already higher than normal.
Oh.
At least that's what I remember, like, them saying about it.
That's a pretty good reason not to drink, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And it's like the only way to really combat it is, be more fit in general.
Just work out more.
Yeah.
Be healthy.
So preferably, I should improve myself, like make myself more healthy before even attempting to drink.
Makes sense to me. Do you go to the gym and such, or are you just putting it off for now?
Well, there is a gym available during the school year, so I might do that. Like, either show up like in the morning, like a bit before classes, and just go to the gym there for like an hour or two. That's what I was thinking, at least for now.
That's what a lot of my friends do, because our school's got it's like a 3-story gym. It's got quite a lot of facilities. It's a nice complex.
Ours just says 2 stories.
I never wake up early enough to do that, but most of my friends will go to the gym like at midnight, just because that's when they're all awake. Simon, do you ever go to the gym? Aren't you like 130 pounds? You're tiny.
No, I weighed myself at the Venice airport and I came out 75 kilos, which is 165.
Okay, so normal.
Yeah. I should probably like get on an actual scale and like actually like weigh myself, not on like a scale for baggage.
Wait, so the Venice airport, you're standing on the baggage? Like where?
Yeah, I was because like you know what? I'm gonna be standing in this line for like another 20 minutes. I better find something to do.
Just weighs itself.
What else are you gonna do?
I'm already standing. May as well just do something else.
Fair enough. I know I'm still just slightly above 180, but I'm slowly getting better with this.
Yeah, you've been looking good in previous years.
What?
I said you've been looking like better these previous years, looking good.
Oh yeah. Like high school was awful for me, That was when I was like at my absolute worst.
Like this one, like in one of the instances where I talked about for Florence, where like people just like talk to like rip their store. This was like one old, probably gay Italian guy said, "I'm way too serious."
Wait, you're way too serious, or he was way too serious?
I'm way too serious.
Why so serious?
Yeah, pretty much. He told it to me like several times.
Did you
Of
actually
course,
go
he
to a
made the
store after
mistake
that?
of trying to initiate conversation with me, and I don't talk to people I don't know. So I just like tried to end the conversation as soon as I like humanly could. Which is probably why I didn't like build a good rapport with him.
So you're just mean to this old Italian man.
No, he's just like he said nice shoes, and I was like, oh, thanks. Just like immediately just deal a death blow to that conversation.
I don't know. I think talking to people like in Italy would just be fun. But you're
Yeah,
not a very
like we
sociable
had a good
person.
conversation with him.
What was he trying to sell you?
I just some fashion.
Oh, okay.
A brand new car.
You didn't buy into any of the Italian fashion while you were there?
Nope.
Sad.
The Italian fashion is not
The only
yours.
article of clothing I bought in Italy was a pair of shorts with David's dick on it.
You actually bought the shorts?
I did buy the shorts. They were pretty cheap. I forgot how much they were, but they weren't that much.
Did you buy the normal version or the extended edition?
The normal edition. I didn't see the extended edition until Venice.
Okay.
Extended edition available elsewhere.
Yeah. It said not available in your country.
And it was funny, while you were in Italy, I started listening to the band Zen Circus, and I was meant to like send you like songs of theirs, but I just never like remembered. I don't know. If you want to listen to some good Italian rock, I recommend Zen Circus.
Italians don't really listen to Italian music. They listen to a lot of American music because their music isn't that good.
Ooh, that's just mean.
Like there's this one weird pop song where they were like ripping off the lyrics from like some other they weren't ripping off the lyrics, they were ripping off like the melody from like a different song, and you could really tell.
Hmm.
But like a Latin rhythm with it. It was just super weird. I was not having it.
Oh, okay. And there's a couple of Italian bands that I like, but America just does make a lot more music than the rest of the world. But I wouldn't say we're better than the rest of the world.
Yeah. I guess our pop is better, or what was playing on the radio was not really good in Italy. Or at least whatever they were playing in the stores wasn't good.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, in Italy, like the army is just everywhere, in like the cities
Oh.
and stuff. Like they
That's
have
a
like
bit
the
spooky.
jeeps, and then they have like you know when you're like in an outdoor thing, and they have like places where you like buy food, and they have like the weird little mini canopy thing.
Yeah.
They had those, but it has like esercito written on it.
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure it just means army in Italian, because I don't.
Sure.
Sam speaks more Spanish than me. What's the Spanish word for army?
I didn't learn that in school.
Okay, Google Translate time.
Senior level Spanish. How to start a military coup.
Yeah, it's this army.
All I did is, in my Spanish 3, we made rice. Or I made rice and taught the class how to make it.
You pour the rice into boiling water and you wait.
You also throw in some spices.
So
Oh,
why is
yeah.
the army just everywhere? That feels like a police station.
I don't know. Like they're even in like the train stations and shit. Like you don't get searched at the train station. The army is just there.
Does Italy have police, or is it just the army?
They have two polices. They have the police and the military police, and then they have the
Oh.
army.
Oh, so it's like 3 people with guns just everywhere.
Yeah, 3 groups of people with guns just roaming around Italy.
That's scary.
Well, that's because they have the mafia.
Oh, I mean, so do we, but like in like 2 cities now.
Yeah, well, it's in like the bottom half of the country. Well, western side of the bottom half of the country.
If only there was a word for the southwestern portion of a country.
Will be in Campania, Reggio e Calabria, and Sicilia.
Look at this boy and his Italian words.
See, io parlo Italiano.
I'm willing to bet Simon has more stories about Italy that he just can't remember right now. That's my bet.
You might be right.
Watch after like we're done recording and like we end the call or whatever. Simon will be like, oh.
Oh wait,